Thomas and Friends. The HiT era rewritten. Diesel's Prevail, Part 3. It was a gloomy day on the island of Sodor for Diesel, and with the news of his driver getting spread around Sodor, Diesel could only think of what happened. Later that day, Diesel and his friends were talking to each other when Rosie entered the yard with some news. Diesel, you were getting relocated to Vickerstown's side yard for the day. You two are going to Wellsworth, said Rosie. Diesel's friends were cross. Wellsworth had the most disused yard in all of Sodor. They would sit there, angry not being with Diesel. Meanwhile, at Vickerstown Yard, Diesel didn't know what to think. Many engines went by, saying hello, but not mentioning anything about the situation. A few hours later, still in the same place, Diesel began to think about the engines. They were so nice about it, but they're steam engines. I suppose what I should be thinking about is what good they do. He was happy the engines hadn't said anything, but he wondered what he was going to do about telling his friends about the plan and where it would go. Back at Wellsworth, the two Diesels had stopped being angry and wondered why they were at Wellsworth in the first place. Maybe they're doing some maintenance to the yard, said one hopefully, and the other agreed. Soon, Edward arrived with his last train of the day. What brings you two here? Asked Edward kindly, with a smile on his face. We don't know. We want to go back to the yard, they said. I was at the yard this morning and everything was normal, but that was hours ago. I wonder what is going on. And Edward's whistle blew. Sorry to cut us off, but I have to get napvin. Goodbye. And Edward disappeared. The Diesels were tired of waiting, so they headed back to the yard. That night, when Henry came back with Diesel, he had the largest smile of all. He beamed from buffer to buffer. Everyone was there with lights and banners, and light-heartedly the party had begun. Diesel was confused, but still joined the fun. Later that night, after the party had ended, the Fat Controller had a small surprise for Diesel. Now, you'd usually not deserve this, but with what happened to your driver yesterday, you most indefinitely do, he said solemnly. Diesel started to catch on. You didn't. You wouldn't, sir, Diesel replied happily. I did, the Fat Controller replied, and behind Edward came his driver's brother. Diesel grinned, the largest he had ever done. Roll the credits.
A Thomas the Tank Engine Fan Production.